Hello again. All right, so uh, the Slavic dance team. It looks like in summer of '89, when I came down to San Diego. I was using all the contacts that I knew, family members, friends, get myself settled in, and there was this Slavic dance team that trained in the basement. They would meet for practice in the basement of that Byzantine Rite church in San Diego. And gosh, yeah, I think just because I went to that church with my grandparents before, and I talked to some of the members there, and they flew me into this group of young people, people of my age and older, mostly older, that performed in this dance team. And so I knew there was girls there, and I checked it out. And as it turns out, I was a good dancer. I picked up the steps quickly, had really long legs, and that looked good in costume. The Slavic dance is a lot. If you've seen Russian dance with the slaps and the kicks and the jumps and the lifts and the twirling the axes and all that, all of that coiled together, it would look pretty cool. And you got to hang out with the girls. And so that set off my Slavic dance career, and they trained several times a week. And they trained hard. I mean, you were drenched in sweat at the end of it, all the different moves. We performed at different festivals and conventions, the San Diego Convention Center, a lot of big cultural festivals. San Diego was very rich and diverse population, so we had a lot of venues. And the deal was, if you train with them, the money they earned throughout the year went towards a trip to Europe, where they would train in Czechoslovakia. Back then, before the Czech Republic and Slovakia split, it was Czechoslovakia, and we would go over there and train. And up in the mountains, where there was like authentic Slavic dancing, they had like the real going to the source. And they put a lot of attention to detail in the costumes, where everything was authentic. Even the boots were handmade in Slovakia that came over that we used. They took it very serious. And so in this time, you spend a lot of time, a lot of eye contact with your dance partner. And so my first dance partner I was paired with, name was, and we hit it off. I mean, she was definitely a more aggressive girl. I think she was a year older than me. And I remember distinctly, after a performance, we were at a convention center, and it was the San Diego Convention Center. And going back through the parking structure back to our vehicle, she pulls me aside, and we start making out. And it wasn't my first kiss. My first kiss was actually in at the Byzantine Catholic Church, in the stairwell. It was Keisha and I kissed in the stairwell at church. That was our very first kiss, and that was my real first French kiss. It was really awesome. And before that, the world of sex to me was a solo endeavor, and so this was exciting, of course. And so that particular day in the parking garage, she pulls me aside, and she pulls me into in the parking structure, there's like a service entrance somewhere, and we duck in there, and that's where I got my first blowjob, and which of course blew my mind. It was amazing, and I was kind of ushered into the world of freaking girls. It was awesome. I was doubled down in the dance world. And I lasted a little while. We broke up. I was paired later with the Polish girl. I ended up dating her, and eventually went through other girls there. But Dorothy and I lasted many years, and she was the one that really got my heart. She was the one that I jumped in full force, and I've covered that before. But it's pretty special dancing with someone that you care for and that comes out in the dance. And it was, What's also interesting about the dance thing is that everything else in my life, it seemed like I would cheat and scheme, but there wasn't that in the dance. I'm noting that that was something that all it took hard work and effort, and it was something that was, but it was a lot tied to getting contact with females. Um, so the big trip to Europe. We packed our bags. It's a backpack type adventure. You just put everything you need is in one backpack, and you're going to carry that. We fly out there, and we bought Euro passes, so we have unlimited travel on the trains throughout Europe. And so we all decided to go out like 10 days early, and we backpacked through Italy, seeing all the sights, Rome, Venice, and but I'm traveling with a girlfriend, which that was, that was get to sleep with your girlfriend, you get to travel, spend all the time with her 24/7. That, it was amazing at that age. It was a wonderful trip, lots of adventures. From everything from we're staying in our little tiny bungalow room together, and some drunk guy tries, thinks we're in his room and like punches his fist through the door wall, and I'm grabbing his arm, pulling him, and he's getting out of control, and everyone's scared to, getting so drunk on wine, waking up with some dog licking your face, and you're not really sure what country you're in or what language they're speaking. Lots of drinking adventures at a very young age, and I am primed for this. I mean, I'm eating it up, and I've covered this story before, but man, we took a little barge over from the tip of the heel in Brindisi of Italy over to the Athens, and we're staying the night in Athens, and I are staying in a hotel room. We're like on the third floor, and our view from our balcony is of the Acropolis. And oh my gosh, seeing it all lit up there at night, it was just begging for me. And I had my fedora cap. I didn't wear it the whole time, and I like busted out for adventure purposes, put on my leather jacket, and scaled out that window, and made my way through the city, climbed over a few fences, headed towards the cliffs, scaled the cliffs. Top of the cliffs, there's a wall. You had to scale the wall up, and it was just dramatic. It was at night, peeking over the wall, seeing guards walk around, seeing guard dogs, seeing guards with guns. I mean, high stakes, making it over the wall, creeping through the compound up there, looking at all the artifacts, picking up pieces, feeling your way, and finally finding one, and it's about 14 inches by 9 inches by 3 inches solid marble, and you pick it up, and it's raised engravings on it, and it's serialized in the back, and it's heavy, and I'm going to dun 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 dun, take this artifact and steal it from the Acropolis. Take it, I tuck it into my belt, and I'm trying to get down the wall, and it's really awkward with this increased weight of trying. I can't get down, scale backwards down the wall. I'm looking for another egress route, and there is the Acropolis at night is lit up with these huge floodlights, shining up from the below the cliffs up and lighting up all the Acropolis. And if you look down from up there, all you can see is a bright light, but I can see there's a power line going off the wall down towards the light. I don't know exactly where it ends up because the bright light's blinding me, but I grab onto that power line and I start sliding down it off the cliff into the abyss, not really knowing where this is going because it's pulling away from the wall. Now I'm 10 feet, 20 feet, 30, 40 feet off the ground, going out towards the light. And it ends up coming next to a power tower, and from that the power line tower, and from there I start scaling down that and making it down to the base of the tower. Now I'm at the bottom of the cliffs, making it down the mountain back towards the town, and scurrying through town, making back up, climbing back up on the outside. I didn't want to walk through the hotel lobby to let them know I had come out in case I was suspect. Climbing back in the window of my hotel room, all beat up, scratched up, sweating with this stone from the Acropolis. I put it in my luggage. Take off my hat, and what's going on? Oh, nothing. Just went outside for a little bit, go back to sleep, and I crawl into bed. And I carried that stone for the rest of our time through with our dance trip journeys to all the other places, and we went to the catacombs, and I got pieces of the catacombs. We went to the Colosseum, got a piece of the Colosseum, just collecting stuff as I went. And of course, alcohol, different types of alcohol from different places. And my bag weighed so much. My bag weighed more than almost everyone else put together. I could barely lift it. I was hunched over from the weight coming back from that trip. We did all that training up in the mountains. In fact, when we were up in the mountains of Czechoslovakia, we were up there and we're training and drinking and training and drinking with the locals. And one evening, I remember hearing gunshots and cheering, and I'm looking around the mountain. All these bonfires start lighting up all over the mountainside, out in the village. Everyone was coming outside, and there was this big uproar. And I asked one of our instructors there, what's going on? And they said that, the Slovakia and the Czech Republic have finally split, and they were all celebrating the separation of these two states, and they had made Czechoslovakia was no more, and we were there for that. And I was like, rah! We celebrated with them. And so, finished our trip throughout Europe, came back through customs, that huge backpack, my fedora on with a big feather coming out of it, and asking me, do you have anything to declare? And I said, I have nothing to declare. And they waved me through customs, came walking in. Meanwhile, the Polish girl with her little backpack comes walking in. They pull her aside, and she gets busted for smuggling a squash into the U.S. because they can't bring, any agricultural products into the U.S. from abroad. But I made it back, and that was, I'm sure. For a while, I kept it low key, didn't tell anyone, because I was sure that stealing a national treasure has severe consequences. That I reflecting back on that, I mean, talk about endangering the group, endangering myself, taking advantage of the opportunity. That's something I had blinders on in my youth, to how big these things really were, how fast that could escalate and get out of hand if I was, caught on the Acropolis, and what a problem that would be for the rest of the dance team if I was detained in the Greek jail somewhere. But that was, again, me not realizing, seeing normal boundaries and limits and what you should and shouldn't doing, but grasping for that brass ring, like that, I can do this, and getting away with it. Oof. So that's the Slavic dance team. Amazing people. It was a great time. And it was me, figuring out how to date and travel and explore. And I did end up, sleeping with a few other of the girls in that dance group as well. All right.
If you've made it this far, it means you're hungry for more. I got 3 things for you. Click on the links below. For 1, get on our mailing list. You can pre-order the book coming out this summer. 2, our Patreon account. You get tiered access to exclusive content. And 3, visit our social media sites. There's a lot out there I want you to see. Do it. Do it now.